transatlantic slavery trade.
One of the most devastating exploitation systems in human history was the transatlantic slavery trade, which took place from the 15th to the 19th century, where millions of Africans were captured, enslaved, and transported across the Atlantic Ocean.
It officially began in 1441 when Portuguese sailors Antonio Goncalves and Hernando Tristão brought the first captured Africans to Europe. By 1518, Emperor Charles V granted merchants licenses to transport enslaved people to the Americas. This system soon expanded, involving European powers like Spain, Britain, France, and the Netherlands.
In early Africa became the central point of this terrible trade. Enslaved individuals often faced capture through warfare or through treaties with local rules. Victims were taken from the homelands in the West, Central, and East Africa to Elmina, Luanda, and other busy ports, where they would be sold to European trades.
This effort rapidly brought about change in 1807. Britain passed the Slave Trade Act, banning its involvement in the trade in 1865. The United States abolished slavery with the Third Amendment. In 1888, Brazil became the last country in the Americas to end slavery, closing the dark chapter in history.
Those who did were sold upon arrival in the Americas. Here, they were forced to work on plantations producing goods like cotton, sugar, and tobacco. These crops became essential to global trade, enriching European powers while condemning millions to lives of suffering.
Despite the uproars, resistance emerged. Abolitionists like William Wilberforce fought to end Britain's involvement in the trade.
And yet, even under the yoke of shoot a brutal oppression,
William Wilberforce was a key figure in Britain's fight against the trade. Toussaint Louverture led the Haitian Revolution, the first successful rebellion of enslaved people.
These efforts gradually led to change. In 1807, Britain passed the Slave Trade Act, banning its involvement in the trade. In 1865, the United States abolished slavery with the Third Amendment. By 1888, Brazil became the last country in the Americas to end slavery, closing a dark chapter in the history.
It is a reminder of the resilience of those who endured and resisted. To confront this legacy, we must acknowledge the horrors of this history.